Welcome everyone to lesson number 11. In this chapter, we had discussed about all the Government of India Act that were done before, that were done after the administrative and legislative reform that was done after the 1857, as 1857 was the first war of independence. Now, we had discussed till the Government of India Act 1935. Now, after that, an important act will be taken place that will give the ultimate independence. That will be Indian Independence Act of 1947 of the British Parliament. Okay. So moving ahead to it, we will be having first one mission that will be called as a Cripps Mission. That will be called as your Cripps Mission. Okay. Cripps Mission. What exactly was that? What exactly it was? So in March 1942, the Sir Stafford Cripps, it was the full name for that, no need to remember it. So Sir Stafford Cripps, a member of the British Parliament, he was that Cripps was the member of what? He was the member of British Parliament. Okay. Came with the draft declaration on the proposal of the British government. He came with one draft declaration for the proposal of the British government into the India. These proposals were to be adopted at the end of, like, one proposal was made before the Second World War, like just to participate Indians into it. So the proposal was such that after the Second World War, there will be a Congress and the separate Muslim League will be there, and according to this proposal, the Constitution of India was to be framed by an constituent assembly by the Indian people only, and the Constitution should give India a dominion status. Okay. So what was that? The proposal whatever the proposals that were made, has to be adopted at the end of World War II. Okay. It provided that Congress and the Muslim League should accept it. Congress and the Muslim League could accept them, that they both have to accept this proposal. That was the condition for it. Now what was that? Now what was the proposal within under it? The proposal was that a constitution of India will be formed by whom? By the Constituent Assembly, and it was not by the British, it will be by the Indian people themselves. That's what we have done. We have given the Constitution of India by themselves. Okay. And the Constitution should give India a dominion status. Dominion status means what? Like, India will be ruled by themselves. No external will be, not British will be ruling it. India will themselves will become a dominant state. It means like the people of India will rule the country, and there should be a Indian Union comprising of Indian Union will be there, like, because they had the concept of United States of America. So similar concepts they were it was being provided, that there will be an Indian Union comprising of the provinces and the Indian states. Any provinces not accepting the Constitution would be free to retain its constitutional position existing at the time, and with such non-acceding provinces, the British government could enter into separate constitutional arrangement. So let us suppose if any provinces, if any Rajas Maharajas or declare it like, no, I am not going to unite with India, so in that case nobody can force it, and a separate constitution for them will be arranged. Okay. So this was the whole uh, mission or provisions under the Cripps Mission. Okay. Now, after that, cabinet mission plan was formed. That cabinet mission plan was formed. So in March 1946, this happened in 1942. Okay. Now in March 1946, Lord Attlee sent a cabinet mission to India consisting of 3 cabinet ministers. Among them, one was Cripps. Okay, there is nothing to remember on that. The object of this cabinet mission plan was to help India. The objective, their objective was to help India to get independence as soon as possible. Help India to get independence oh, the tab is hanged. So their aim was to make India independence as early as possible, to set up a constituent assembly. Okay. Now, the cabinet mission rejected the claim for a separate constituent assembly and a separate state for the Muslim. So Muslim were demanding separate state for them, separate constituent assembly for them. So that was rejected under this cabinet mission. Okay, but like separate state and constituent assembly for Muslims, that was rejected under this cabinet mission. But this will again be proceeded through the Mountbatten plan. So through this Mountbatten plan, this will be agreed upon that, and through this the plan of transfer of power to the Indians and partition of the country was laid down. That's what that was done through the Mountbatten plan, and it was given a formal shape by a statement made by the British government. This thing happened on by the British government. When the British government gave their statement, they gave their statement on 3rd June 1947. Okay, and that's why they celebrate the independence on 14th August, and we celebrate the independence on 15th August. That Pakistan celebrated the independence on 14th August, and we celebrated on 15th August. Okay, so this was the separate state and constitution of Muslims, like separate country then was formed. So it was done through the Mountbatten plan. Okay, but in the cabinet mission plan, this thing was rejected. Okay, mark this statement. Don't confuse that. This thing was given in cabinet mission plan. It was done through the Mountbatten plan. Okay, and according to this cabinet mission plan, there was to be Union of India. There will be a union. There will be a Union of India, and comprising both the British India and the states, and having jurisdiction over the subject of foreign affairs, defense, communication, and all residuary power will be after that, whatever the residuary powers will be there, like apart from the jurisdiction, apart from that on the foreign affairs, defense and communication, whatever the residuary powers are there, that will be vested with the provinces and states. Okay, residuary powers. And what were the powers that were considered for the Union of India? It was related to finance, foreign affairs, defense and communication. Okay, the union was to have an executive and a legislature consisting of representative of the provinces and the state. Okay, so union will have an executive, that will be the ruling party, and the legislature consisting of representative of the provinces, which includes the representatives of the provinces and states. Okay, and any decision involving a major communal issue in the legislature was to require a majority support. Like if you want to pass any bills and all, there will be required of the majority support of the representative of each two major communities, and the voting will be counted, like who are like the voting percentage will be counted present and voting. On that basis majority will be declared, and the winner for the if the bill will be passed or rejected, that will be done on that basis. That will be the present and voting. We will be discussing more on the thing on the majority part while passing the bills and all in the constitution section in the coming lectures. Okay. And the provinces could form groups with executive and legislature, and each group could be competent to determine their provincial subjects. Okay. So this happened under the Cripps Mission and Cabinet Mission plan. This was overview of it. So Cripps Mission, it was like through Cripps Mission, Cripps was sent from the British Parliament by the provision that has to be adopted after the World War II. And it should be accepted by the Congress and the Muslim League together. And what was the deal? What was the proposal? The proposal was that Constitution of India will be made with separate Constituent Assembly that will be elected by the people of India, and India will be given a dominion status, and there will be India will be called as the Indian Union, and it will have a provinces and the Indian states. Now in the Cabinet Mission plan, the objective was to help India to get its independence as soon as possible, and a separate state to the Muslim League was not accepted under this Cabinet Mission plan, but through Mountbatten plan it was accepted, and on 3rd June 1947 it was assented. It was given a statement was given by the British government on the 3rd June 1947 that Muslim can make their separate state. Now Union of India will be through this Cabinet Mission plan. There will be Union of India, and provinces and states will be there, and provinces are not forced to join with the Union of India. They can have, if they want, they can have their separate constitution in which British can help. And for the Union there will be executive and legislature that will combine of the provinces and the states, and they together will work on that. If they want to pass any bill, then there will be voting for that. On that voting, majority will be declared, majority result will be declared, and the counting of votes will be done of the members who are present and voting. It should not, like, let us suppose there is total 100 members, and majority to pass, and we have to pass a bill A. To pass a bill A, we need actually minimum 51 votes. Okay, let us suppose in the scenario, on the day of voting only 90 people came. On the day of voting only 90 people came, but the majority to pass a bill, it is required 51. Majority to require a bill, it was 51. This is causing an issue. There is an internet issue at my end. Yeah, so majority which is required is 51, but the people who came for voting is 90 only. Now the majority will shift to 41. Why? Because as I have mentioned, majority will be declared as a final result, and that will be calculated based on the people who are present and voting. Actual people who were present on the voting day was 90, so majority shifted to 41. Now on that basis result will be declared. Okay, so this was decided through the Cabinet Mission plan, and through the Mountbatten plan we have already declared that the plan of transfer of power to the India and the partition of the country was laid down by the Mountbatten plan, and it was given a formal shape by the statement made by the British government on 3rd June 1947. Okay, we'll discuss about the India Independence Act of 1947 in the next lecture. Thank you.